Hey, hello, leaders. Hey, this is Paul Grau Jr. back, and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges. So, today I want to talk about identity because, man, this is something that we're discussing in my men's Bible study every Thursday morning at 6 a.m. We jump on a Zoom call. There's five of us, and this week's kind of study that we're going through talked about our identity and things in our life like what impact does our work have on our identity? And as we were discussing this, we said, man, there's a lot that our work has to do with our identity. It impacts it a lot. Because if you think about it, when somebody asks you for the first time, you meet somebody and they ask you, hey, how you doing? What's one of the first questions? Sure, it might be, hey, what's your name? I'm Paul, what's your name? But usually, one of the top three questions that's going to come out is, so what do you do? Maybe where you live. But that question, what do you do, seems to always come up when you meet somebody and in any conversation for that matter. You haven't seen a buddy in a long time, and all of a sudden you run into somebody and you're like, hey, so what have you been up to? You still at that job or are you still doing that? It always comes up. So, the interesting thing is, if our job or our work has a lot to do and a lot that impacts our identity, are you happy with the identity that's being attached to you for working at that job? Whether it's, you know, working downtown or working at the local Chick-fil-A or working with a big company, the CEO, COO, a worker, a manufacturer, a machinist, a military member, are you happy with that identity, with that label that a lot of people give you? And here's the here's the thing that really got me thinking about our identity and our work is that research shows that 70% of Americans, and it might be worldwide, I don't know, but 70% of people going to a job every day or working hate their jobs or dislike their work very, very much. There's only 20 to 30% of people out there that really enjoy their work. So, if that's the case, and if our work has such a big impact on our identity, what does that say about people? Are people depressed and, you know, bummed out and sad and pissed off because their identity has such is impacted by their job that they hate? You compare that to somebody that really loves their job. Are they in a better mood the majority of the time, whether they're working or not working? See, work, and the Bible study says this, work was one of the first gifts that God gave Adam in the garden. He said, hey, all this land is yours to work it. All right. And when you think about that, you got to wonder, did Adam like working that? I would guess he did, gardening. So Adam was a gardener right off the bat. And if you think about that, was he happy? God said, well, it's not good for man to be alone, so he created woman, and the next gift he gave him, or one of the next gifts is woman or other people around us. So that can impact our identity as well, but we're going to talk about that tomorrow. But just focus today on how much of an impact does your job, your work have on your identity? And if it's too much, do you need to adjust that? Do you need to find yourself? Do you need to have some self awareness and say, you know what, this is not good? My attitude towards my work is really filtering in over to my attitude or my identity. And, I did that because the business has been up and down and backwards and forward, it seems. It goes in spurts. I have a lot of really good clients, and all of a sudden be quiet for a while. And, training and coaching is kind of like that, especially end of year funds. And, when money gets tight with people or when businesses are doing really well, they don't think they need any training or coaching. When businesses are doing really bad, they say they can't afford coaching and training. So I try to hit them either right in that middle of going up, they're succeeding, or maybe coming down off a high. Right there in the middle is where people really need training. But just think about how your training or how your work and the impact that it has on your identity. So that's it for today. Come on back tomorrow because I think we're going to talk more about this identity and how other people around us impact our identity. Until then, run to your challenges. We'll see you.